Hello and welcome into this week's NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind show right here on Racing News Now. As always, I'm your host, Garth Allen. Thank you once again for joining me today. If this is your first time catching a Racing News Now video, consider going down below to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. On today's Xfinity Rewind, we're looking back at Friday night's 18th annual Circle K Firecracker 250 at Daytona, powered by Coca-Cola. 100 laps, 250 miles around the 2.5-mile Daytona International Speedway, Daytona Beach, Florida. Before we got into this one, 3 cars failed to qualify. The 74 of Mike Harmon, the 35 of Joey Gase, and the 61 of Austin Hill in the Hattori Racing Toyota, trying to make their season debut with that 61 car, and unfortunately did not make the show. 7 caution flags for a total of 31 laps. We had a lot of chaos in this race. Lap number 10, it started early with the 22 of Austin Cindric, the 90 of Cesar Baccarella, the 07 of Ray Black Jr., the 36 of Josh Williams, the 19 of Brandon Jones, the 21 of Joe Graff Jr., the 4 of Landon Castle, and the 00 of Cole Custer in a multi-car incident in turn 4. Lap at 24, another multi-car incident on the front stretch, this one involving the 8 of Sheldon Creed, the 23 of John Hunter Nemechek, the 7 of Justin Allgaier, the 00 of Cole Custer, and the 2 of Tyler Reddick. Already 2 cautions, and Cole Custer have been involved in both of them. He has said many times he's not very good at super speedway racing, doesn't have the best luck, and that is showing through very early in this race. Stage 1 concluded at lap 30, so we had a couple lap run to the end of that first stage. Your Stage 1 winner would be Ross Chastain in the 3rd Kaulig racing car this week, the number 16. One incident in stage number 2 that came at lap 46 involving the 2 of Tyler Reddick, the 98 of Chase Briscoe, the 7 of Justin Allgaier, and the 39 of Ryan Sieg, this one also on the front stretch. Stage 2 concluded at lap 60. Crossing the line first in Stage 2 would be AJ Allmendinger in the 10 for Kaulig Racing, but he is not your official Stage 2 winner, apparently. I just realized this. The Stage 2 victory went to Michael Annett officially because after the race, AJ Allmendinger was disqualified in post-race inspection. So, yes, Michael Annett is your Stage 2 winner officially. Final stage, we had plenty of action going on in those final 35 or so laps once we went back green for the final stage. First incident came at lap 74 on the backstretch involving the 42 of Chad Fincham, the 28 of Shane Lee, the 86 of Brandon Brown, the 52 of David Starr, the 93 of Scott Lagasse Jr., the 8 of Sheldon Creed, the 15 of BJ McLeod, 25 of Chris Cockrum, the 20 of Christopher Bell, the 5 of Matt Mills, and the 2 of Tyler Reddick. Final caution of the night came at lap 88. This even set up an almost 18-minute red flag to get things cleaned up. Happened near the end of the backstretch, heading into turn 3. Big wreck involving the 1 of Michael Annett, the 36 of Josh Williams, the 08 of Greg Galding, the 9 of Noah Gragson, the 00 of Cole Custer, again in an incident in this one, the 66 of Timmy Hill, the 90 of Cesar Baccarella, the 01 of Stephen Light, the 42 of Chad Fincham, the 21 of Joe Graff Jr., 39 of Ryan Sieg, the 10 of AJ Allmendinger, the 20 of Christopher Bell, the 23 of John Hunter Nemechek, and the 86 of Brandon Brown. 18 lead changes in this race among 7 drivers. Ross Chastain led the most laps. 49 laps in this one were led by Ross Chastain, so almost half of the race was led by Ross Chastain. 33 laps went to his teammate AJ Allmendinger. 6 laps apiece went to Tyler Reddick and to Justin Allgaier. 4 laps were led by Justin Haley, and 1 lap apiece went to Noah Gragson and Michael Annett. Alright, so on to your results. Obviously a big night for Kaulig Racing. Ross Chastain winning the first stage and leading the most laps. AJ Allmendinger crossing the line first in Stage 2, since he didn't officially win that stage anymore. Who would be your winner in this race? Daytona's always a crapshoot. Could get a wild winner. And we did. Ross Chastain picks up the victory in this one, his second career Xfinity Series victory. Remember, the first came last season at Las Vegas with Chip Ganassi Racing. He picks up the first win for Kaulig Racing at Daytona in what was a 1-2-3 finish for Kaulig Racing, with Justin Haley coming home in second and A.J. Allmendinger initially finishing in third, but unfortunately failing post-race inspection. So that drops him to the rear of the running order, and that is why you don't see him here on the first page of results. But it was cool nonetheless to see all three Kaulig Racing cars come across the line 1, 2, 3 in this race. Christopher Bell came home in the third position officially. Fourth was Austin Cindric. And a fantastic run for Stephen Light with a top 5 finish for JD Motorsports in that 01 car. Great to see that. In fact, the rest of this top 10, great runs for every single one of these guys. Not cars you generally see in the top 10. Brandon Brown in 6th, Jeff Green in 7th, Greg Gaulding in the 8th position, Jeremy Clements in 9th, and Matt Mills rounds out the top 10 in a BJ McLeod Motorsports car. In fact, as we flip to the second page here, 11th through 20th, all three BJ McLeod Motorsports cars right here in a row, 10th through 12th. Vinnie Miller came home in 11th, and Stephen Parsons in the 12th position. Noah Gragson back here in the 15th position. First car one lap down after his incidents. Tyler Reddick in 16th. Justin Allgaier 17th. Riley Herbst had a strong car, had a decent run going for most of the night, and unfortunately getting caught up in those incidents late. He came home in the 18th position, 2 laps down. 21st through 30th, Shane Lee down here in the 21st position. John Hunter Nemechek, 22nd. Joe Graff Jr., 23rd. He had a decent run going, too. He was up in the top 5 at different points, and unfortunately getting caught up in one of those late incidents, and he came home in 23rd. Ryan Sieg, another promising run out of Ryan Sieg, unfortunately foiled by late race shenanigans on track, and he came home in the 24th position. Michael Annett, 25th. Cole Custer came home in the 26th position after all of his incidents on the night. Brandon Jones down here in the 30th position. Final page, 31st through 38th. Sheldon Creed came home in the 34th position in his series debut. Not the run I'm sure he was looking for his debut, but had a fast car, and I'm sure could have contended late had he not gotten involved in an incident. Chase Briscoe 35th, and down here in 38th, the man that crossed the line in 3rd and then failed post-race inspection, A.J. Allmendinger. But that's your results from the Circle K Firecracker 250. So let's head over to the Media Center. We will see what a very excited Ross Chastain had to say about winning at his home track in Daytona.
Huge night, but not only is the first win, 1, 2, 3. I just told Matt riding over here on the golf cart, I said, our first year looked too easy. We made the playoffs with Blake Cook. We made this look too easy. I don't expect it anymore. So it was pretty awesome. Ross Chastain, Justin Haley, A.J. Allmendinger, hats off to those guys, but everybody at Kaulig Racing is what made this happen.
Like, extremely sweet. We talked all week. Actually, we've been talking for a couple months about just trophy hunting. That's what we've been calling it, just trophy hunting. And we said if at Talladega we had 2 cars in the race, and if we didn't wreck them, then we'd run a third. And the only reason we didn't run 4 today is because we don't have enough cars.
Exactly.
So, no, Ross ran a great race. Really proud of him. Really proud of the whole team. Chris, Alex, everybody involved did a great job, and couldn't be more proud. First win. We're at Daytona.
Alex, about you?
Oh, this is an amazing feeling. Like, I kept looking around at the car chief and Chris, and I was like, is this really happening? This is really happening. Not only did we win, but Kaulig Racing just finished 1, 2, and 3 and swept the stages. Like, it felt like it was a dream, man. Obviously a dream come true for sure.
Man, I can't walk. I don't know. It's all a blur, but it all starts with people. I mean, it's not just a PR thing you say. It's, for me, this is what it's all about. It's all about the people, and the people that got me in this car, and then Matt Kaulig, Chris Rice helping put all this together is, man, it's just, it's great. It's what the good Lord puts in front of you, and he put these people in my path for no reason that any of us saw coming, and it's all for a greater reason, and I'm good with whatever he gives. And it's been the darkest of times, but it's also been the best times of my life this year. And getting to work and getting, I mean, like Chris said it earlier, 5 years ago or so, me and him were fighting for, just mad at each other all the time. Like, physically, I thought we were going to fight. And when this all deal came together, he called me and said, come up to the shop. We're talking alone. Nobody else was there. We stood in the middle of the shop. He explained his side, I explained my side. We shook hands, and we said, we're going to go take over the world. And that's what Matt Colley wanted to do with us. He wanted us to go win trophies, go trophy hunt. And I think I'm going to drive this car and take it up to your house, because I don't think I'm ever going to get to drive this car again, because I think it's
done. It'll never race again. You'll see it in the museum at Kaulig Racing. It ain't racing. We can build some more. Didn't you see them other two?
Yeah. So yeah, that's I don't know how to describe my race. So I mean, super aggressive. Almost wrecked down there and won with Justin. That's just how you have to be. And I told these guys at the beginning of the year, especially after the first Daytona race, I said, if you seeing how much track position meant, if you want me to race for the win, we may crash on lap 5, and they were good with it. The only thing was, don't crash with your teammates. So at least leave somebody out there for Kaulig Racing to go win. So bringing 3 cars here was unprecedented. We got the 16 car in victory lane. I mean, it's incredible.
All right, so let's take a look at your playoff grid before wrapping up here tonight. And a little bit of movement on here. Obviously, nobody new in the winner column, since Ross Chastain is no longer running for Xfinity points, which is interesting now that he has switched to truck points. Yes, he is basically in the truck playoffs at this point, but with this win, that would have put him in the Xfinity playoffs if he were still running for points and hadn't switched. So you gotta wonder if that didn't cross Ross's mind, that maybe he made a mistake. I don't know. I don't know what he could have put together for the rest of the season that maybe would have allowed him to run for a championship now that he would have had the win. I don't know if maybe Kaulig Racing could have put him in the 10 car for the rest of the season, because obviously we know how talented Ross is, but he's not going to run for a championship in a JD Motorsports car. It's not going to happen. So it would be interesting to see what he could have come up with if he were still running for Xfinity points and now would have been in the Xfinity playoffs. But hypothetical scenario, obviously not happening. He is running for the truck championship now, so really that doesn't make a lot of difference at this point, because it's a hypothetical situation. So had a little bit of movement on the playoff grid this week. Noah Gragson, John Hunter Nemechek, and Justin Haley all up 1 spot apiece this week, as Chase Briscoe falls 3 down to the 10th position on the graphic this week. And then a 92-point swing between Ryan Sieg and Greg Galding at the cut line. So still a pretty good gap there. Greg Galding cutting into that just a bit with Ryan Sieg's troubles. I don't think Ryan Sieg should have any trouble making the playoff at this point, but he has had a bit of bad luck lately. So could we see a playoff run being built out of Greg Galding at this point? Probably not. That's a pretty big gap to overcome, especially as close as we are to the playoffs. But we've seen stranger things happen. So we'll see going forward here if that becomes a story. But at this point, I don't know that it really is a story. Could be, but probably not. But that is your playoff grid following the Circle K Firecracker 250 at Daytona. And I believe that'll do it for us on this Xfinity Rewind Cup Rewind coming up late tonight once they finish up the Coke Zero Sugar 400. And that'll probably be about it for this weekend until we get to Diecast Review on Wednesday. It'll be Eric Almirola's Talladega winner from the fall last season. So pretty cool looking car there to check out. Then we should be back at the track at Elko with ARCA this weekend. Kind of up in the air whether we actually have the budget to do that. But we're going to make every effort to get there for you. So yeah. And that will just about do it for this one. So if you haven't done it already, you need to go down below, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications so you don't miss a thing going forward from RNN. While you're down there, why don't you hit that big thumbs up button if you like the video. It is much appreciated when you do. But at that, this has been the NASCAR Xfinity Series Rewind Show. I'm Garth Allen for Racing News Now.